Okay, we've taken the car out for a drive. We've had a bit of a go off-road. We've checked all the sort of four-wheel drive systems working. Apparently Freelanders have problems with the rear diff, and people often disconnect the drive shaft. So ours is definitely a four-wheel drive one, definitely has a drive shaft in place. The engine, it seems okay, but there is a little bit of mayo in the filler cap, so we're fairly sure that the water is getting into the oil. That means a head gasket, simple as that. So the next step is to get it stripped down, then have a look at it and assess what we need to do. We've got a local machine shop that can skim the head if that needs doing, but we'll have a look at it first and see how flat it is. Right, let's go grab the spanners. Right, we're at the stage now. We've been working on it for a couple of hours. We're at the stage, we just need to rotate the cams. These are the head bolts here. This one, obviously we can't get that one out until the cams are rotated. The way they set top dead centre on this engine, it's a bit odd. So you need to rotate the cam so you can get to the head bolts. Right, if you rotate this cam as well, this engine, it doesn't stay top dead centre, has the pistons halfway up the cylinders, oddly. This is so you can rotate the cams so you can get to the head bolts. You could take the cam cradle off. That's another way of doing it, get the cams out of the way, but we thought we might as well just leave the cams on for now and just unscrew them on the bench. Right, here we go, let's rotate the cams. Okay, so got the cylinder head off. We're just cleaning it up. We just sucked out a load of water with one of those sort of suction pumps. We're just going to clean up the gasket mounting face a little bit. But first things first, we're going to measure if any of the cylinder liners have dropped. If the cylinder liners have dropped, you may need to reset the heights, otherwise you won't get a proper seal with the gasket and you'll be chasing your tail. So that's the next thing to do. We're going to get a straight edge and measure it with a feeler gauge. Right, so we've pulled off the cylinder head. As you can see, rocker gasket, rocker full of mayo, so clearly it's been mixing. Water's been getting into the oil, so it's a good job we caught it. There wasn't too much in the bottom of the block. The head, well, the head's supposed to have been skimmed 6 months ago or so, but looking at it, it doesn't look like it's ever been skimmed. So we're going to clean that up and then take it down and get it pressure tested at the local engineering shop and see what they say. These are the old head bolts, and there is a special tool to hold the cylinder liners in place, but we made up a couple of bits of box section, a washer and then a plate just to hold the cylinder head in place, and then basically this is just clamped in place over the cylinder. That's all you need to do. You're just trying to stop the cylinder liners moving. You don't need any particular pressure on it, it's just to keep them in place, just in case you turn the engine and the pistons move the liners. As you can see, we've got everything back together. Cylinder head is back on. We've also put a new cam belt on, a new water pump, and we've also fitted a new thermostat. It's hard to see, but it's down there. It's that grey housing. This is the newer version, which opens at 82 degrees and has a softer spring in it. We thought that might help with the cooling. This is the
about to step down at the fast MOT. And that sounds much sweeter now.
Does sound good. Right, so let's sort the battery out and let's get it booked in. Okay, it's been a few weeks now. We've managed to get the head gasket sorted. It's quite a straightforward engine to work on. The only tricky bit is replacing the oil rail. The oil rail clamps the bottom of the engine together via long head bolts, and it's a bit like, think of this as like a kebab stick with loads of different layers. It's very important each layer is sealed correctly, doesn't move, and is at the right torque. So we used the new MLS gasket that the Chinese have developed with the that goes in conjunction with rated head bolts and a stiffened oil rail. The oil rail is important. It's your oil feed to the main crankshaft bearings. So you need to seal that correctly to make sure you've got proper oil pressure, and it's quite a bit stiffer than the original part. So hopefully, with everything bolted together, we've sorted it. We've done about 400 miles on it so far since the fix. Hasn't used any hasn't used any coolant, hasn't used any oil, and we haven't got any mixing of the two. So cautiously optimistic, but we think that's okay. The only issue we did have was with the cylinder liners. We accidentally moved the engine. I accidentally moved the engine, hands in the air, when it was in gear, and it popped a couple of liners, the two outer ones. The pistons went up. So as we had to drop the sump anyway to get the oil rail off, it wasn't that big a deal. We just had to unbolt the bottom of one of the pistons, lift the complete liner and piston out. They're only a waggle fit. Lift it out, reseal it, clean it, reseal it with blue Hylamar, drop it back in. 10-minute job, not a big job at all, so don't panic if you do that. We also fitted a new cam belt, renewed the water pump, resealed it, and we were fastidious with resealing everything with the correct sealant. Also, torque settings. Obviously there's torque settings for the head bolts. There's torque settings for everything on this engine. All of them are critical. So sump bolts, torque settings, and a pattern to clamp them up. Torque settings for the cam carrier. We had to have the cam carrier off and separate the cams because we had to get the head skimmed. They go back together in a sequence with the correct sealant, so we did that. Also, even the cam cover, normally it's just, you chuck it on and tighten the bolts. This one does have a bolt tightening order, so you need to follow all that religiously. Obviously we put the cam cover back on with the new gasket. We also had new gaskets on the inlet and exhaust manifold. All told, it cost us round about 450 quid to get all these parts together. So that's head gasket set, all gaskets, timing belt, water pump, tensioner, and various other sealants and fixings and things. But yeah, so far it's all looking pretty good. So now it's time to go and enjoy it. Okay, one problem we did encounter after completing the work was when you fire the car up, we've got 3 warning lights left on. One, the handbrake warning light, goes on and off. These are normally called the Three Amigos and can be linked to the brake pedal switch. But the handbrake one, we traced to the fluid level warning switch. We'd knocked it and cracked it when we were fitting it, so we managed to sort that easy enough. We bodged it with a bit of glue. That's sorted. You can get new ones of those for 20 quid, that's not a big deal. We've also got the traction control light, the hill descent light on. We think that's to do with us holding it on the brake when we were getting the crank pulley off. These are all linked to the brake pedal switch, we think, which can often get out of sequence. So Steve's coming around with a code reader, and we've also got a new brake switch. So we'll see if we can clear the codes with the code reader. Failing that, we'll put the new brake pedal switch on. Apparently it's fairly simple, plug in, clip to fit job. Obviously it's a bit fiddly to get at, but I'm sure we can manage that. Right, so, yeah. We've just trying to clear the error code. So Steve's got his magic reader up and we just plugged it all in. And
got 2.
So what have we got?
Well, it's generic camshaft position sensor.
Yeah.
A.
That might be the thing I saw that wasn't plugged in properly.
And throttle pedal position sensor, which is what we've got. This is a switch.
Right.
So there are 2 faults. So we
Hang
can.
On, throttle position. I thought it was brakes pedal switch position sensor you've got. That says throttle pedal.
Oh yeah.
Throttle's different to brake, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got an automatic. Hang on, throttle. We'll just clear them.
Yeah, just clear them.
Hang on.
I mean, that's how you normally do it. You clear them and then see what comes back.
Diesel ignition on with the engine off.
Right,
Done that.
hang on.
Done that. Ignition's on.
Is it?
It says processing, so it must be right.
Okay.
Emission related diagnostic has been cleared. Okay.
Okay.
Now what we have to do is back out of this. Are you sure? Enter. Enter. Right, so if
I'll
we
switch it off and on again.
hang on. Give it a second.
Okay.
Because those lights should be on now anyway, shouldn't they?
Right, we're going to switch it off and on again, and hopefully it'll fire up now with no fault codes whatsoever.
Well,
How much was that sensor, Steve?
well, no, we've got rid of 2 faults that were on the system. We just haven't got rid of those.
Handbrake works still.
Yeah, so it's still got 2 fault codes. It's still got those. That's the,
Right, so this is the brake pedal switch. So tell me about that.
well, they're not just a brake pedal. You see on the back, there's actually 4 contacts. These provide, as I understand it, these provide the position for the brake, the hill descent, and the traction control. When it's actually put in,
Yeah.
these little lugs stay
Hang on,
still,
look at your finger night. Yeah.
and as it's turned and twisted and fitted, it allows us to pop out and set the datum point.
Okay.
So I believe there's like a variable resistor in here.
Okay. So how confident are you this is going to fix our fault?
Not very. Although everyone does say it's these. Everyone, including my brother, everyone says it's these.
Oh, if your brother says it must be right.
Must be right.
Right, we're just about started up. Steve's fitted the new brake pedal switch. We've also discovered a slight error with the camshaft position sensor, which the machine picked up.
Who did
My
that?
fault. My fault. Got the throttle position sensor,
Faults.
and yes, throttle position sensor and the camshaft position sensor transposed on the wiring. I don't know how I managed that, but anyway, we swapped that over, and so we sorted that. Steve's fitted the new brake pedal switch, so this is the moment of truth. Let's see if it works. Hang on.
Yay! It's worked.
Right.
That's it. So if that's shut, and that's
So how happy are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Let's have a look at his smiley happy face.
right. Shut. Hang on a second. That's it. Nothing. Not a single lit up light,
Great.
and it's not even installing anymore.